Poor Bennett.
Bah! Wake me up when we get to New York.
No way! You've got to tell me how Brian escaped from Happydale.
Banana! Now, where were we?
Following your escape plan, Brian climbed into the ventilation ducts, but then he came across Kurgan's decapitated body. He found the head and tried to hide it by sticking it into a furnace, which turned on when he closed the door. The head was reduced to ashes and
And then he came home to Daddy.
Even after dying, that psycho's managed to screw everything up for me. Now how do I escape?
The cards are in your favor. Improvise.
Come on already, Gabbo. Can you stop it with that line, please?
Improvise. You and Kurgan are almost the same height, and you have the same build. What would happen if they found his beheaded body dressed in your clothes tomorrow?
What? I can't do that. Kurgan's back is hairy as an ape. They'll recognize him in a second.
Do some hair removal.
What about his freaky long fingernail? They'll know it's Kurgan as soon as they see it.
Trim it.
And I have a tattoo on my ass. And he doesn't.
Draw one on him.
What about his blood type, his shoe size, his DNA?
Go to Bennett's office and switch the medical files. Try to think on your toes, Brian.
You know, in the end, it'll turn out you're right. Kurgan's body could pass for mine. If I switch his medical records with mine, cut off his disgusting fingernail, copy the tattoo I have, well, near the small of my back, wax his shoulders, and set things up in such a way that they decide not to look for his head or suspect foul play when they can't find it. That way they'll think the dead body's mine and...
Nobody looks for a dead man. But make it snappy, Basco. Remember, either you're escaping at 12 midnight or you're not escaping at all.
About that tattoo of mine that I have to draw on Kurgan. Since you're so good at that artsy-fartsy stuff, why don't you paint it?
Forget it. I don't see myself looking at you on all fours and me painting Kurgan's behind.
Well, that's kind of the idea.
No way.
$1 billion.
They say I killed a guy once who rambled on and on about something for too long. You think it's true?
All right already. I'll stop insisting. Do you have anything that might pass for a tattoo?
No. But I'll listen to any and all ideas.
Add $1,000 to the $2,000 I already owe you.
Done. In the third drawer of my cabinet, there are some artist pens. Grab a 0.005 and it should pass. Too bad I don't have a 0.037.
I love deals with friends. You know, I'm not going to bug you anymore about this tattoo business.
My unstable mental health will thank you for that.
Why do I have to wait to escape right at midnight?
Because it is right then that the guards by the entrance change shifts. You'll have a little more than 37 seconds to slide down the cable with no fear of being seen.
What came after entering the casino?
Go into the air ducts through the vent.
We'll talk later, Gabbo.
Okay, but if we don't see each other by March 6th, 2037 at 12:37 p.m., start ironing the money.
Well, like Gabbo says, I'll have to improvise. No need to rummage for long. There's just a couple of little paper cups and... the birthday candles from Monty Hollister's cake. Brand new.
family whose fortune amounts to more...
Shoot. Cool.
It's the only unused one sitting around. Let's try to locate where we're at. For now, I've figured out where the casino is, as well as the central fan and Kurgan's final resting place. And yes, I believe I can find my way to Bennett's office. Ready. Yes, let's get to it. Huh? Oh, what's this? Oh, this goes on forever. Oh man, it stinks in here. This seems like a morgue. Well, this sanatorium has been around for more than a century, so I wouldn't be surprised if this room had originally been used as a morgue. An emergency room? Or who knows what else? Well, it looks like this doohickey here is slightly less disgusting than the others. I'd like to imagine it's a little vacuum, but I don't want to think about what it's vacuumed. I can imagine where to. Not a chance. Who knows how many people lost their minds while tied down there. I took a shower this morning. Ah! Yowza! That was so rusty it just fell apart. Great. Now how am I supposed to get out of here? Wow, what a strange shape. I don't even want to imagine what it's for. I've reached the conclusion that the iron bar that was inside the hole was stuck to the side so hard that it could not be removed by grabbing it with my bare hands. However, with the forceps, things might work just a little better. Amazing! It's as if I knew the solutions before I even know anything about the problems. The bar's a bit rusty, but I'll do it. It looks so new compared to the rest of the room. Maybe they brought it here to clean things up, but changed their mind in the end. It's not even dusty. Go figure. Most likely it's the one that's missing in the space I entered through. Okay. Hey, it's already been unstuck. If I did that handiwork, I would have a trampoline. That's it. Now let's get out of here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, darn swimming pool. It almost ruined my entire plan. No, the vacuum is really all I need. There's a drain in the middle. Oh, that reminds me of an eminent psychiatrist who believed that the seed of evil was in our blood, so he would drain it out. They say he drained the blood from one guy 47 times, removing more than 10 pints, which probably killed him. I never liked playing doctor. There weren't many girls on my street. It has a metal bowl at the bottom. All right. Spick and span. I'd rather not think about the types of therapies they use them for. In fact, it looks like they weren't even taken off of the last person who had them on. And why not? Looks like a Martian invention. Go directly to office. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Runny, it's Bennett. How's everything going? Me, I'm the same. My work isn't nearly as secretive as yours. I was just calling to say thank you. I got the package with the things I asked you for. Yes, it's all there. The photos, the keys, and the instructions to get to Chapman's cabin.
Chapman? Why does that name ring a bell?
Yes, I'll try to go this week. I owe you one, Ronnie.
Hey, that might just work. Okay, but I'm walking on eggshells here. Because if he sees the tube, I'm doomed.
That's strange. I really gotta stop drinking this stuff.
Now! Man, that was close. Switching his medical chart with mine. Done. Some people use it to photocopy their butts. Kids these days. Some people use it to photocopy their butt. Wait, my tattoo. Hey, you peeping Tom. I'm about to drop my trousers here. It would be such a nice touch if we could just imagine... a curtain, let's say. Great. Now I feel a bit more comfortable with this. Let's see how it works. Presto! Looks nicer than I thought. Okay, when I count to 3, we can stop imagining the curtain. 1, 2, 3. Marcelo's teachings do come in handy once in a while. Yeah, this knife blade is big enough to cut through a fingernail like that. Cutting his nail. Done. I have the artist's pen, the photocopy for reference. In other words, I'm set. Copying my tattoo on his butt. Done. Good. Presto. Swift plan, man. If I put it in for just one itsy-bitsy instant and then I open the door right away, the candles will melt but without burning the wax up entirely. But wait, the not-so-nice part is that I'll get a nasty burn when I take it out. No, wait, I have a funnel. Performing hair removal on his shoulders. Done. As soon as you're done with this, where does it lead? I might have been able to do it barehanded, but it seems that some people have more radical solutions than mine. Yes! Those motors are really gonna do the trick for me! I'm thinking that underneath the hatch there's a set of motors which would disintegrate a head if one just happened to fall onto them. Right before escaping, I'll open it with the iron bar and place Kurgan's body in it so that it looks like his head fell down the hole and was pulverized by the machines. That way, nobody gets suspicious about the missing head. And so... switching his medical chart with mine. Done. Cutting his nail. Done. Copying my tattoo on his butt. Done. Performing hair removal on his shoulders. Done. Getting his head to disappear without arousing suspicion. Done. Kurgan has now been fully Brianized. Finally, anyone who sees him will be 100% sure that Jacob Kurgan's corpse is actually Brian Basco's. I still have to switch my clothes with his, but I'd better wait until I'm ready to escape. Now I just have to figure out how to slide down that cable on the roof. Okay, but after seeing what happened to Kurgan, I think I'll take ladder number 1. Locked. Darn that Murphy's Law. Gabbo's stick thin, so I bet he could slip between the bars. But me? No. Not even in an imaginary box. Well... done. Excellent. If there's a way to bend those bars, that would be it. That's the cable Gabbo was talking about, right? Looks like the other side of the cable is right by that huge sign welcoming people to Happydale. Ideal for my escape. That's it. When it's time to escape, I just put the forceps around the cable, hold on tight, jump, and slide down. Well, I think I've done everything I needed to do. That psycho Kurgan is so Brianized, they'll think his body is mine. And besides that, I know how to slide down the cable on the roof now. I'm gonna go back to my room to wait for the right time to escape. When the sun goes down, I'm free as a bird. Nothing's gonna stop me from escaping.
Stop right there! Hold him down, Ernie.
Your pleasant little stroll is over, Basco.
Hey, Miss Palmer.
Basco's all worked up. He needs the anesthesia. Get him back to bed. He clearly needs more medication.
That crazy chick force-fed me some nasty meds. What did she give me? Ernie! Was this the pill?
Sure is, Basco. That was the one.
What are you doing in here, Ernie?
House rules, Basco. If the nurse on call has to leave, it's my job to come on in. I'm surprised you haven't figured this stuff out yet.
Wouldn't you like to take a peek inside Miss Palmer's purse?
Take a peek? In her purse? No. Can you guess where, though?
What are you writing?
Rebuttals against dumb stuff people say about Elvis.
Like what?
One says Elvis was killed by an FBI gnome. That can't be true, because to get into the FBI, you have to be at least 5'3".
Keep writing, Ernie.
Will do, Basco.
I have to find out what the effects of neuroshotgun are. I can't risk losing it when I'm escaping from this place. I really need to find out what its effects are.
The mother of the famous Red with the criminal organization of the Sundretti.
Hi there, I'm Mickey. Who are you?
Brian Basco.
Nice to meet you, Brian. So, what's up?
You look nervous.
Of course I do. In 5 minutes is the last episode of Barbara's Crest. And as soon as it's over, I have to rush my butt over to the university to take my Pharmacology 3 exam. It's like the most important day of my life on 2 totally different fronts. You'd be jittery too, Brian.
Let me ask you something about Barbara's Crest.
Okay, but careful, because I'm the show's biggest fan.
How many episodes of Barbara's Crest have there been?
Today's will be number 2138. It's the longest lasting series in the history of television.
Which of the series' features would you say has made it so successful?
The fact that it's so realistic, like politics. Everything's a lie, but somehow they get you to believe it.
Who's your favorite character?
I think Chris Millard, 'cause he's been in a coma for 8 seasons and his performance is just as fresh and exciting as the day his car went off that cliff. Sometimes I wonder whether they just keep showing the same footage over and over again.
Do you remember any part of the plot that stands out from the rest?
Oh, yeah, like when Anne Virginia walked in on Minerva Calixta Hatfield while she was in bed with... I don't remember. No. Hi there, I'm Mickey. Who are you?
Brian Basco.
Nice to meet you, Brian. So, what's up?
Why don't you leave the remote control alone?
'Cause in 5 minutes, the final episode of Barbara's Crest is coming on, and I can't seem to tune channel 98 in.
You like television, don't you?
Yeah, but since yesterday, they've switched the programming on all the stations, and there's a bunch of things in the ads that seem like they're from another planet.
Ready for your big exam?
I've memorized it all. Ask me whatever you want.
What pharmacies in Southwest Manhattan will be open 24 hours next Wednesday? Time.
You're clueless. You gotta ask me about some drug, and I'll tell you everything I know about it.
Neuroshockyne XR.
Neuroshocking XR, chemical composition, hypopendulic acid, dosage administered orally, used only to resuscitate the sick who are clinically,
Dead.
dead. In any other type of patient, it causes acute neural excitation, which results in attacks of extreme violence in the patient, which...
What? Miss Palmer gave me pills to make me ultra-violent? Yes, of course. That knife under my pillow was her doing. That's how she knew about my candy. And then she wouldn't give up until I took those pills. Is she trying to get me to kill someone? What for? Does she hate me that much? The important thing now is to find some sort of antidote.
which can only be neutralized by taking...
A direct electrical shock.
a direct electrical shock of high voltage applied to the back of the neck. In other words, either you jolt the guy with electricity or he starts to go postal and kill everyone in sight.
Thanks a lot, Mickey. You just saved my life.
Next question.
Led by Benjamin. And now our...
They're probably worthless, but just in case, I'll hold on to them.
From our archive of film classics, we are...
Can you lend me the taser inside of Miss Palmer's purse?
Basco, I never took you for a thief. A nut...
Come on, dude. She's not gonna notice. I'll give it back to you later.
And I don't sell out for nothing. Well, maybe for cash.
Keep writing, Ernie.
Will do, Basco.
Man, after what he told me about all of the gold in the world. Ernie, do you think the casino chips Gabbo gave me are fake?
I doubt it. How much are we talking about here?
$125,000.
$125,000? I'd like some of them chips myself.
Yeah? Well, go figure that they're not at all that appealing to me. I'd even give them up in exchange for, I don't know, a taser gun?
Basco, never, ever, ever will you get me to take that taser out of Miss Palmer's purse. And you know that never means...
How cool. Be careful, Gabbo. One shock and that's it.
Sure. Basco? Minutes till the changing of the guard. Get going. Miss Palmer could...
Give me your cell phone.
Why?
If it goes as planned, they'll contact Gina to have her identify Kurgan's headless cadaver. I've got to warn her. She has to tell them the body's mine.
Hey, who's there? Oh my gosh, that Basco fella's dead! Up there! It's Kurgan! Kurgan! Stop right there!
At last, Bennett's apartment building. Shouldn't be too hard to find a fire escape to get up there. I'll go up to his penthouse, steal the recordings of my therapy sessions, and find out what happened on Mala Island once and for all. Okay, now! Darn it. I can't take the luxury of going into the street again, or someone might recognize me. So I better just do what I came here for. Bad news. There's no sign of a fire escape. I'll have to find some other way into the building. The end is here. Have a nice...
This here's Bennett's apartment building.
Come on, let's cut through here.
No, let's go another way. Or do you want to stay to chum around with the bums?
I'm shocked. I'm terribly saddened to hear this. The doctor he was a very close friend, so all we can do for him now, and especially for Brian, is watch this.
Patient, Brian Basco, session 25, October the 6th, 2008. Good, Brian. Before continuing with your memories, would you like to go over what you've been explaining to me in your latest sessions?
Yes.
All right. Everything began during your vacation in Hawaii, correct?
Yes. Gina hired Otto, an old German pilot, to take us on a day trip to Mala Island. I think Otto had a heart attack. When we flew over a big lake, I threw Gina out the door with the only parachute on board. And then I tried to land the plane.
What happened when you attempted the crash landing on Mala Island?
Otto had vanished. I found a military camp by the lake. I asked the soldiers if they'd seen Gina, and I talked to their main officer, Colonel Kordsmeyer. He told me he hadn't seen her, but I could tell he was hiding something. So I decided to infiltrate the camp and search for her.
Tell me about how you infiltrated Kordsmeyer's camp.
I knew Kordsmeyer was waiting for a scientist to come visit. Thanks to O'Connor, a really dumb soldier, I was able to impersonate the scientist, but I couldn't find Gina. Still, I discovered clues that something weird was happening in the lake, and also that the only person who'd know what was going on was this guy named Professor Simon in Alaska.
Tell me about your trip to Alaska.
When I found Professor Simon's house somewhere in the middle of Alaska, he told me the unbelievable truth. At the bottom of the lake on Mala Island, there was a spacecraft from the planet Trantor. With the help of an alien accomplice, Kordsmeyer stole some energy stones from the Trantorians, and without them, these aliens would die for sure. He would only return them in exchange for a technologically advanced Trantorian weapon.
What was the relationship between Gina and the extraterrestrials?
When Gina fell into the lake, they rescued her and took her to their ship. She had gunshot wounds, probably inflicted at the orders of Kordsmeyer. They tried everything they could to heal her, but without the energy stones, Gina would soon die.
Did you get the extraterrestrials' energy stones back?
Getting the stones Kordsmeyer had stolen was impossible. But with some friends' help, I found another piece of Trentonite. It had been hidden for centuries in a pirate ship at the bottom of the Pacific. I got that stone and returned to Mala Island.
Okay, Brian. I guess this is about as far as we can go with our review of prior sessions. Let's delve into unknown territory at last. In the fantasies that your memory seems to recognize as reality, did you manage to deliver the energy stone to the Trantorians and save Gina's life?
It's all a bit confusing.
Just try, Brian. Did you get to the lake without being seen by the soldiers?
Yes, there was a turtle. I followed one of them in order to sneak onto the ship, but Kordsmeyer, Tarantula, and their troops were a few steps ahead of me. I took out one of the guards and put on his uniform, but then they saw me. To reach the heart of the spacecraft, I was going to have to do it the hard way. In the end, I made it to a sealed chamber. My sixth sense told me where I was supposed to place the Trentonite. And that's how I managed to get the Trentonite to Alpha, the leader of the Trantorian ship.
It's fascinating that your mind is able to believe all of these wild adventures, Brian. Let us continue. Did it take Alpha long to get his strength back?
Not long at all. In a matter of minutes, he went from being half dead to being completely healthy.
Were the Trantorians able to regain control of their ship?
Yeah, Alpha woke up the rest of the crew, and they attacked the soldiers and took Kordsmeyer prisoner, as well as Tarantula and the alien trader who'd stolen their energy stones.
So, the good little Martians had a field day with the bad old humanoids, right?
Yeah, Alpha woke up the rest of the crew, and they attacked the soldiers and took Kordsmeyer prisoner, as well as Tarantula and the alien trader who'd stolen their energy stones.
And then what? Don't tell me the Trantorians themselves took Kordsmeyer to the authorities.
No, they used a mind control device, so I'd do it for them. By activating it, I could take control of Kordsmeyer's body while I just sat there, motionless. And by controlling the Colonel, I could make him confess his crimes to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Colonel Jerome D. Chapman, who would no doubt arrest him. I had to do this fast, because after 1 hour, the person using the mind control device loses his powers and the device disintegrates.
By the way, how was Gina during all this?
Luckily, she was fine, but she was still unconscious. Alpha told me she would still take a while to wake up, and that afterwards she wouldn't remember a thing. But I didn't care. I finally got to see her again, alive and safe and sound.
In other words, the only gift they gave you was this device, which you say would stop working after 1 hour.
In addition to the device, they gave me a very special gift. However, they insisted I be careful. Trentonite is powerful, so I had to keep it from falling into the wrong hands.
They gave you the Trentonite, if I'm not mistaken.
In addition to the device, they gave me a very special gift. However, they insisted I be careful. Trentonite is powerful, so I had to keep it from falling into the wrong hands.
In other words, the Trantorians left you with this hot potato and took off. The nerve.
They said that Earth had become too hazardous for them and that they would never return. They vanished in utter silence. Nobody saw them appear, and nobody saw them when they left.
Let's go over everything again. The Martians gave you the Trentonite and a device to control Kordsmeyer's brain with, and then they left. And what happened to all of you who were inside the ship?
Alpha told me the soldiers would be beamed back to the military camp, and that all of their memories about the spacecraft would be erased instantaneously. As for me, I appeared inside of Colonel Kordsmeyer's tent. I could still control everything he did. I could see myself holding on to the mind control device. Then I remembered what Alpha had said. I had 1 hour to make sure Kordsmeyer was put in jail before the device would disintegrate. Just 1 hour.
How am I going to do this? I've got to get Kordsmeyer and Tarantula arrested. But as soon as that happens, the Trantonite will probably get taken away. I'm not sure how I'll set things up, but within an hour, the Colonel and his mercenary will be behind bars, and my Trantonite will be in a place where nobody can find it but me. Inside is the gift Alpha gave me for helping the Trantorians. A piece of Trantonite, the only one left on Earth. I'll take it. Great. Now I just have to hide it somewhere. Well, I guess as long as I don't get too far from the mind control device and I keep an eye on the entrance so nobody sneaks in, I shouldn't get into any trouble.
Marine Zachariah O'Connor at your orders. My colonel. My sir. My. Semper Fi, sir.
Oh, how nice.
I'm here, my sir. Colonel.
I would have never guessed.
Dang it, sir. I'm not there anymore, my colonel.
Unbelievable. And where is there?
There, sir, my colonel. Where their mission is.
Look, soldier, let's get things straight. Do you even know what Semper Fide means?
Yes, sir. If you yell a lot, it means you're a Marine, sir. I yell it when I don't know what to say, my colonel. Semper Fi.
Semper Fide means ever loyal.
Why, shoot, sir. You just described me. I'm as loyal as a dog. Marine Zachariah O'Connor, always loyal.
What is that mission you were talking about?
Shoot, sir. You're the one who said, gave the mission to the dumbest and most unessential soldier in the regiment, sir. And that's me, sir. Marine Zachariah O'Connor. Semper Fi.
What does the mission I asked you to perform consist of?
Recovering the box of Havana cigars for my colonel from the deepest part of the Hawaiian jungle. Sir, my colonel.
I would like a report on the cigar-related mission.
Sir, I'm an elite, I can't write.
Then report to me orally.
Wait, is that where the suppositories go?
Oral means by speaking.
Sir, yes, sir. The helicopter performed the Havana cigar drop far away, at the wrong coordinates on the island. Colonel, they were in the middle of the jungle, so I headed there. More scared than embarrassed, sir.
Why were you afraid to go into the jungle?
Monkeys, sir! Those sneaky monkeys that tried to steal my cap and threw coconuts at me!
Couldn't you defend yourself from the monkeys?
Yes, sir! I glued my cap to my scalp using the regulation glue, my colonel. The bad thing is that the monkeys didn't have your cigars, sir!
I'm taking away the glue you used to glue your cap onto your head.
That's the regulation survival glue, sir! It's all yours, sir!
I wasn't familiar with this brand, soldier. I didn't know we had regulation survival glue.
The rules are a bit complicated, sir, but they say, in order to impede the dehydration caused by colitis, dysentery, and other agents which lead to uncontrolled rectal evacuation, as soon as a soldier detects the first symptoms, he or she is required to apply the regulation glue to the site of expulsion of the waste product. I don't understand all that stuff about dehydration, or colitis, or dysentery, or evacuation, or rectal or waste expulsion, but the important thing is I learned it by heart and I can regurgitate it on command. Sir!
Rectal means where you put your suppositories.
Why, shucks, sir. I don't know what to say. Semper Fi!
If you don't understand what you're saying, why memorize it?
To say something smart once in a while, my colonel, sir. Plus, don't forget, I almost never know what I'm talking about. Semper Fi!
Let's just move on to another subject. Who had Kordsmeyer's cigars then? I mean, my cigars. Your colonel, sir.
These awful zillion-year-old geezers, a Japanese guy and a German who looked like they just came out of a war movie in black and white. They had smoked 7 of my colonel's cigars. My colonel, sir. But I managed to get the remaining cigars back and skedaddled out of there.
I'm starting to believe that you have a knack for intelligence.
How'd you figure that out? Sir, I sent my application into intelligence services, but since I'm a moron, I'm not sure they'll let me in.
Just how much of a moron are you?
A total moron. Utter and complete, sir. Marine Zachariah O'Connor, at your orders. A-Class A nincompoop. Oh, sir, mine, my colonel.
If you're a moron, how do you intend to get accepted into the intelligence services?
Precisely because I'm a moron, sir. I'm the perfect candidate for espionage stuff, because nobody'd ever suspect I have anything to do with intelligence work.
What do you use that pretty little head for?
To keep my insides from getting wet, Colonel.
You're right. Your intelligence is a topic we're better off avoiding. At ease, soldier.
Always loyal.
It's full of coconuts. Okay. They grow some fine coconuts around here. It's twice as big as the ones they sell at those upscale supermarkets in New York. O'Connor is so oblivious that he's not even surprised by the fact that I, the colonel who ordered him to get the cigars back, haven't even put them in my tent yet. I don't smoke, but what the heck? 1982? That thing is older than I am. I know that sounds weird because of my current appearance, but try not to forget that I'm actually a debonair collegiate youth with handsome blue eyes. Okay, I'll use the other knife for leverage too, just in case. While I was at it, I drank the coconut milk inside and ate the meat. It was amazingly tasty. Not the best hiding place in the world, but at least it'll be out of sight and has a protective shell. Right, if I do this, it'll be a lot harder to figure out that the Trantonite is inside. In any case, I still have to find a way to keep the soldiers from finding it when they come to arrest Kordsmeyer. Great idea. Soldier!
Yes, sir! Colonel! Sir!
I'm gonna give you a coconut. I know you have a lot of them already, but this one here's special.
Does it bite?
No. What you gotta do with it is hide the thing.
In the place where I put my suppositories.
No. Well, not necessarily. Put it wherever you want, but hide the thing. I don't want anyone to know you've got it.
I'll protect it with my life. That coconut is now worth more than my own head, my colonel.
Good. You only give it to someone who says this password to you. We all know the truth. Life consists of how we choose to distort it.
We all know the truth. Life consists of how we choose to distort it. Sir, password memorized. My colonel, sir.
Perfect. When all this is over and things calm down, either Gina or I could go find O'Connor, give him the password, and get the Trantonite back. Soldier, your courage, valor, and intelligence will not go unrewarded. Would you like a cigar?
Yes, sir, my colonel. Thank you.
Enjoy it, soldier. But how dare you? Smoking in the presence of an officer. Are you looking to be court-martialed? I will turn a blind eye to your lack of discipline because of who I am. But the next time this happens, I will turn your pathetic little life into a living hell. Got that?
I shall accept my punishment with honor and integrity, sir.
Okay, I confess that was a bit cruel of me, but Kordsmeyer's body seems to have kept a grip on its innate rage and evil disposition. And I just had to get it out somehow. Well, not that I care much, but it may be a good way to get rid of all the evidence that the Trantorians ever visited this pretty little island. Let's see now. First I pull the pin, then I put the grenade inside the capsule, I close the capsule, I walk outside, I throw the capsule towards the lake, and boom! If nobody sees me, cool. And if they do see me, well, I'm supposed to be the man in charge around here, aren't I? So go for it. Gentlemen, you have to be extremely careful when handling grenades. Never, I mean never, in any case, pull the pin before the right time. Oops, a grenade with a USB connection. What did they come up with next? Okie doke. Let's see if I get lucky and find some explosive information. I hit the jackpot. The USB grenade contains information on lots of different fraudulent activities Kordsmeyer has taken part in. The money he embezzled from the military budgets, hiring Tarantula. There's enough in here to get him to rot in jail for a couple of consecutive life sentences. Get Lieutenant Colonel Chapman on the horn.
As you wish.
Lieutenant Colonel Chapman, come to my tent immediately. I order you to arrest me, along with Tarantula, my accomplice, for the crimes of embezzlement, fraud, and abuse of power. Since I may eventually deny all this, let me mention that the documents which prove it that...
Keep still, soldier boy.
So long, soldier boy.
After hearing Brian Basco's deeply buried and confused memories, these are my conclusions regarding what really took place on Mala Island. The Army arrived to provide backup for a scientific operation, observing the falling of a small meteorite in the central lake on Mala Island. With the help of the mercenary, who Basco refers to as Tarantula, Colonel Kordsmeyer intended to steal the core of the meteorite, or in other words, the Trantonite, before the scientists arrived. When Brian Basco showed up, asking for Gina, who had fallen into the lake from an airplane, the colonel decided to get rid of him without providing any further explanation. With the Army refusing to help, Basco stole some diving equipment and the military uniform he mentioned. And he rescued Gina, who was lying unconscious in an underwater cave inhabited by sea turtles, which he referred to as the Trantorian spacecraft and its alien crew. He was exhausted and nearly frozen to death. This explains his paranoid inventions related with Alaska. He made it to the surface with Gina and got some help from the military in the end. And while they were waiting inside of a tent, Kordsmeyer came in to make sure they didn't know anything about his plans. That is the moment Tarantula chose to betray the colonel in order to steal the coveted meteorite core herself. She put a gun in Brian Basco's hand at a time when he didn't even have the strength to move. She held her hand over Brian Basco's, forcing him to press the trigger. And she shot Kordsmeyer. Going into shock clouded Basco's memory. And in the meantime, Tarantula escaped. Chapman
Miss
detained
Palmer?
Basco, committed suicide months
Yes.
later. I don't have a clue who this Tarantula woman really is, but I trust that if we find her, life will become a lot easier for Brian Basco.
Allow me to explain the situation to you, Judge. You will write up a report declaring Brian Basco guilty, based on the evidence found by Dr. Bennett.
That evidence doesn't exist.
It does. The recordings from the hypnotherapy sessions, Chapman's email.
Both prove he's innocent.
They'll never know. Tonight, Gina Timmons will force open the door of this house and she'll destroy all the evidence.
You'll never get that report, even if you threaten to kill me.
You're already dead. After destroying the evidence, Gina will shoot you 5 times, point blank. After that, she'll take the gun, put it in her own mouth, and...
Have you no scruples? You planned it all out?
Not everything. My dilemma, dear Judge, is whether to order 2 coffins or 3. Start writing.
Man, a few years ago, that day I fell down dancing and dislocated my thumb, I would have never imagined I would actually be thankful for new flexibility in my thumb. Otherwise, I'd still be stuck in those handcuffs. And as for opening them with a tie pin, well, we all have a past, but getting back to the present. I can't escape or I run the risk that Tarantula will make Gabbo and Judge Whitley pay for it. So I guess all I can do is try to ask for help. But how? And from who? Looks like the same bum we saw when we got here. Assuming he's just asleep or drunk, I've clearly found someone to ask for help now. This isn't going to be easy, though, since he's at least 10 floors down. And if I yell, Tarantula will hear me before that bum does. Smells nice. Clean, unironed clothes. Let's see if there's anything useful in there. Pretty scarf. Just what I imagined. This is where they throw their dirty laundry so their maids can wash it downstairs. I had to escape from a hotel room by jumping down one of those chutes once, because outside the door there was... oh, never mind. I slid down the chute for at least 50 feet, and I fell into a tank full of bags of dirty laundry. Didn't get a scratch or bruise, it was so soft. It's empty. If there were any sheets, I could tie them together and lower my body down to the street, but A, I don't intend to escape, and B, this is not a movie. I'd say I have nothing to clean. I'll just take one. Citrus Splash Extreme Juice. How lame. It's brand new. Iron it? I think not, but... Call the cops. I think it's obvious what I'll be using it for. Okay, but while I'm at it, I have emptied every single one on the shelves to make sure the bucket was nice and full. That sounds good. A juice bath will certainly wake that bum up. I'll let the scarf hang out of the window so he sees my message after the juice in the bucket spills on him and wakes him up.
Oh, I don't believe it. I'm going to have to tie you up now.